Heel. Good girl. Good job, Molly. Good girl. Molly. Heel. Honey. Good girl. Heel. Good job, Molly. Right there when she loses interest on me, I'm going to start doing some turns. Because going straight was getting a little boring for her. Yeah, good girl. Yeah. Using some verbal praise to get her excited. Molly, good girl. Yes. What a good job. Good girl. Yeah, good job, Molly. Yeah. I don't want to get her too excited. So she'll start jumping. Just enough to get her to like kind of look at me. Good girl, honey. Yeah. Turn. A little pop. Didn't pull, I popped. It's a very loose pressure. No pressure at all. That's a good girl, Mom. Leave it. Just right there when she looked at the leaf. Just said leave it. She's getting really good about that. Come on, honey bear. Good job. It's all about keeping her focus on you rather than waiting until you lose her attention and try to gain it back. You don't want to continuously keep saying, oh, she's not watching me anymore. I got to get her to pay attention. Now, that's going to happen. That's okay. But we don't want that to always be the case. So what I mean by that is keeping her focused on me by doing turns, stops, zigzag patterns, figure eights, things like that to keep her focusing on me. Good girl. So turns are great because it shows you as a handler whether she's actually paying attention or not. You don't want to force the leash, right? So see how loose? I let it slide through my fingers and she actually auto stopped because she added a little bit of pressure. I didn't do anything there. And if you clamp up on the leash by going like that, what happens is the leash has nowhere else to go and you auto pressure. We don't want that. The whole point of this is to always be very, very loose. Good girl, Molly. Heel. Molly, heel. Good girl. She's a little distracted when we get up by the car, so that's why I've been coming up here a little bit more. Good girl, Peanut. This is great. So right there, heel. Molly. Yeah, good girl. Turns. So going straight is going to be very boring for a puppy. Heel. They're going to lose interest really quick. Leave it. Leave it. Good girl. So you have to do lots of turns. That yawn there was a great little sign that she's using her brain, and this is actually mental stimulation and tiring. So turns are great because, come on, girl. Yeah. What happens is she's not paying attention. She goes too far ahead. That pressure is going to turn on. Clearly, she didn't notice that I turned, so I can just do a little pop to say, hey, pay attention. You didn't realize I went the other way. Right? It's not pull you because this is where I am. It's telling her, good girl. Right? So if I can just click my tongue or make her say her name or come on, honey. Right? That's getting her to look at you and realize, oh, I got to follow my person. Come on. Right? I didn't rely on the leash so much. Right there, I gave her just a little pop. And that's really the whole goal of it. Just to use little tiny pops. And if you're ever doing pressure, it's for that reason, right? You're saying stop moving, go into a sit, and she's just the queen of that. She's really good at that. So, heel. Molly, Heel. Good girl. Another good thing that I like to do too, when you are teaching her. So now, come on, Molly. She may need to use the bathroom. She's trying to lean towards the grass. Come on, honey. So when you're teaching her where your invisible box is, she knows where mine is, or she's learning where mine is. And that's because every single time she gets to here, or here, I'm either going to stop, pop, or change directions on her. So she knows every time she tries to take the lead, I take it right back by doing something to show her my handling skills, that this is what I want from you. She's not going to just naturally do what you have in your head of, this is what I want you to do. You have to relay that to her, communicate that to her by using the communication system that we've taught her, pressure and release, by using the stop, pop, or changing directions. So when you're practicing this, this is a great way for you to realize if your dog is too far ahead of you. Okay, so, okay, Molly, good girl, right? So when we're doing this and we do an auto sit and we do a pressure and release. Okay, so my feet are right here and Molly is way up here. So what I'm doing is I'm proving that when I stopped, she was ahead of me, because already you can see that. So before I start moving, I'm going to take the lead and step in front of her. Your dog can't follow your lead if they're in front of you. So if you say heel when she's there, she's just going to go her own way, and you're never going to have a dog that follows you. So teaching them your red box, and being very vigilant about that is really important. Molly, heel. Good girl. Give her a little pop right there. Right, so just to prove it again. So she is slightly ahead, and it doesn't look like much, but look, when she sits, she was in front of me. So that just proves it again. And take that step forward. Molly, heel. So it doesn't look like she's very far ahead of me when we're walking, and you're kind of like, oh, wow, really? But look at the leash. See how it straightens out right there? And look how far ahead she is, right? So I take the lead back. Molly. Molly. Good girl. Heel. Notice I also wait until I have her attention before I start moving. If I start moving and then try to get her attention, she's not going to follow my lead. She's going to do her own thing. So you have to get her attention before you start moving. Remember, the whole goal is to play a game of follow the leader and have her follow you. Come on, Molly. Oops, so we got a car. She's doing great with this too. Stay. Good girl. Heel. And so I'm just slightly in the lead. Right there is where she lost focus on me, and she started sniffing the ground. The leash went straight. So there was a lot of little key things right there that proves that she's not focusing. So usually using some food, using her breakfast or her dinner, using some treats if you're in a high distraction setting and you know she's going to be really distracted. I'll bring something like hot dogs or cheese or something like that with me, so that I know I can grab her attention back just by going like this with a treat. Yeah. Heel. But when we're just on my street, I want to be able to take her for a walk without needing, incentives to do that. So there you have it. There's some great little tips. You can see she's doing fantastic. Remember, she is only about 12 weeks old. So for a pup her age, she's doing phenomenal. It's all about repetition and consistency at this point. As long as you continue to keep doing this, this is just going to be her normal behavior from here on out. She has got a firm understanding of what the leash means, what pressure and release is, what a sit-stay is, what her release is. So the more you practice it, the better she's going to get. And then as she gets better and your handling skills get really sharp, you guys can start adding more distance from each other. You can start adding longer durations of time, like within sit-stays, down-stays, placing. And you can also start adding in harder distractions. So start easy. Remember your ladder. You want to start at the bottom of your ladder as far as distractions go, and even learning if you were to teach her a new trick or something like that, You have to start at the very bottom of the ladder. Sit means put butt on the ground, and then you go to sit, okay, real quick, and then you go to sit, okay, longer durations. Then you go to like bending down. So again, we slowly walk up the, Molly, such a puppy. We slowly work up the ladder. We don't just go to, going to PetSmart and trying to do this. So, but there you have it. She's doing really good. If you guys have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. And if anybody else needs help with their puppies, give us a call today. We would love to help you guys start your relationship off with your puppy on the right steps. So, everybody have a great Sunday, and we'll see you all soon. Say bye, Molly.